Welcome to Hell on Earth. Deeply clouded in thick, intoxicating mist. Home for the most disgusting and unredeemable people on Earth. Fogland. Fogland is a mysterious place. To the world, it's known as the world's largest international prison, where only the most horrible kind of people serve their life sentences. It was built inside a crater that a giant meteorite left after colliding with Earth many decades ago. No one but the inmates and the guards of Fogland have ever seen the inside of this place. It got its name from the mist surrounding it, which at times is so incredibly thick that you can barely see a few feet ahead of you. But it's much more than just a normal prison. Because not only is it ginormous, it's basically the size of a city, and it reaches far enough that you would need multiple days to walk from one end to another. And it's also completely unsupervised by the law. Because a few years before the start of the story, the supervisors just gave up on the prison and only keeping the inmates from escaping by surveying the outside and delivering food. Other than that, they let the inmates roam free in Fogland. And the prison is doing something very interesting right now. They're giving the inmates the opportunity to actually do something with their life while rotting in prison. They offer free education. Very cool, huh? And a lot of the inmates actually took that opportunity. Because they are smart and want to make something more out of their lives. Well, not really. They went to class because they wanted to learn how to make drugs. But unfortunately for them, their teacher isn't Walter White and knows nothing about how to make the specific drug that the inmates are interested in. But they kidnapped him anyways. And this teacher, Dante, is our main character. He got saved from the shoulders by the slightly slow but very nice dude with a bag on his head. Because Baghead wanted to learn how to grow sweet potatoes. Now Dante's main objective is trying to escape the prison. But most of the time he's preoccupied with trying to survive. And he does so by actually learning how to craft the very specific drugs that the inmates want from him. And the most important and unique thing about Fogland is that by consuming the fog in high concentration, for example in these blue balls that look like very special part of aliens, the person can attain an unbelievable high, being oblivious to everything that is happening around them. They only feel pure ecstasy running through their veins, basically me on a Friday night. But if you take fog on a regular and suddenly cannot maintain your consumption, you will fall into limbo, a state which can be seen as you temporarily turning into a vegetable. And if you are in limbo for too long, your brain will melt more and more, turning into a vegetable forever. This is why most inmates are nothing more than fog-hungry zombies with barely half a brain left. But that's not all that fog has to offer. Because after consuming a large amount of fog, some very lucky people can attain superhuman-like powers, which they call talents. These special talents manifest differently from inmate to inmate. Some gain super strength or speed, a photographic memory, or a penis-shaped head. But no matter which talent they get, a person with a talent is a beast that would demolish a normal person in a fight. This is the drug that the inmates kidnap the teacher for to create it. Because the more you take, the stronger you get. The only authority in this godforsaken place are a few lunatics called the Shoulders. They are the strongest inmates who've all consumed a huge amount of fog. Through that, the special talents have devolved way further than others, which puts them on the very top of the food chain. And each of them could take on an army of normies. They basically share the ownership of the prison, as each of them reigns over their respective territory. And if one of the shoulders gets off in battle, the person to do it becomes the new shoulder. Oh, and because of their immense fog intake, all of them are insane. Like actually batshit crazy. Because what's a little brain rot in exchange for a penis-shaped head? Like, that's a great deal. And now you might be wondering that if some of those inmates are this insanely strong, why don't they just leave? Like, from everything I've described up until now, Fogland certainly doesn't sound like the nicest place to live. You know, settling down and building a family isn't really easy with tons of people suffering from brain rot and killing each other at the slightest inconvenience. Actually, kinda sounds like our society right now. But never mind. There are guys that can jump really high and guys that can just build tunnels by themselves. And all of them know better than to leave, because if they will, these mysterious sacks of meat that mostly just stand around looking like statues will pick them apart. These Elon Musk cosplayers are called Hollow Ones. They are mysterious beings that don't move at all during the day, but can sense whenever a person tries to leave the prison. When someone tries it, these meat sacks jump into action, and even though the inmates are super strong, like superhuman level, they get clapped by these monsters. Basically coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb as fights. This one dude tries to escape and he actually has a great plan. His talent is that his legs are crazy developed, so he runs faster than cars and can easily jump over houses. So of course he does it by just jumping the wall while creating a very good distraction. And the inmate actually manages to get out, but just a second after they manage to make the jump, he gets eviscerated by the monster. This shows us that no matter how prepared you are, there are things that you can't escape from even if you can leave the premise. And now, one of the most disturbing facts, which should be obvious, but you forget it from time to time, is that in a place as dire as this one, you of course have your usual crazy guys, cannibals, the fat monsters, hairy Bigfoot-like beasts, occasionally a penis-shaped dude, and yeah, of course, all of these types of people are really scary and you should be afraid of them, because you know that they will harm you if you give them the chance to. But what's even scarier are the people that don't look like that. The normal ones. A sweet little boy, a kind old man, or maybe a cute couple that sticks together even when they are in hell on earth. You think you can trust them, they speak well, they help you, they encourage you, they promise to let you escape together with them, but you should ask yourself the question, why should they even help you? When both of you are in this bottomless pit of despair, and if they truly are as normal and as nice as they seem, then why are they even here? It's a matter of fact that every person, excluding the people that were born there, but that ended up in here, has done something too horrible to speak out loud. No matter how nice they seem, just remember that they deserve to be here. Fogland is a place where you can't trust a single soul, for you will be betrayed. But on a lighter tone, now every fight is nicely choreographed and you see something new that you don't see in many other manga, because the fights and different moves of the combatants are as gruesome as they come, because not a single one of them fights with honor. There's a ton of biting throats and muscles, ripping limbs straight off the bone, which makes for some really gruesome but also very interesting and high stakes fights, in which every move could turn the tides, and no matter how hard someone is losing and getting beaten up, with just a single knife sweep or eye gouge they could still win. And the art is so nice. Most of the time it's very detailed, gritty and gruesome, but the author also knows when to relax with the art and when to go full throttle. Sometimes the art gets a bit more simplistic, which then opens up the opportunity for some lighthearted comedy and quirky fun, just to lighten the mood. And then the art gets more detailed again when we see limbs getting ripped off in a dark alley. It's a really cool mix, and the illustrator manages to perfectly show how bleak Fogland is while still using lots of different and vibrant colors. I really like the art style a lot. I think that even though there aren't a whole lot of chapters out right now, the series is so promising. The setting, the atmosphere, the story, the characters, the art style, all of this is so nicely done. It manages to really immerse you into the story and does a good way of introducing you together with the main character to this scary and hellish place. Everything just fits together so nicely. This manhwa just has something that's got me right from the very first chapter. It's not the usual shonen or seinen, but something a bit different. I'm really excited to see where the story and this manhwa as a whole is headed, and I genuinely think that this has the potential to become one of the greats. I've only recently started to really get into webtoons and manhwa, and it's been such a welcome surprise to see just how many gems are hidden in the vast amount of isekai rebirth bullshit. I never would have guessed to enjoy it that much. Of course, not all isekais are bad. Please don't hate. So let's end it here. I'm still on my journey through webtoon.com, so expect to see a few more videos of this kind. Check out Fogland, I think there are about 40 chapters out right now, so enough for you to see if you like it or not. That's all. Stay safe, guys. by